Howdy, gang. Going back to Darksiders 3, where we get our asses kicked by, Lust, was it? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have not practiced whatsoever. So, I think we're just gonna go right back to the Crucible and grind a bit, see how far we can get in there. I might even have some stuff I can cash in, I don't know. I know I want another Chosen Soul, and then I'll be able to upgrade one of my things, so I'm not sure where I would find that. This is the barrier to our next hollow, right? So we aren't going to be able to go anywhere until we make it past this hurdle.
Good eating. Please.
Looks like I have a lot of metals, so I should be able to buy something, right? See, I did finish a small game that we will talk about, though I don't think there's much of a conversation there, to be honest. I also started playing Onimusha Warlords, which is a shorter game, but I haven't quite finished it yet. So we'll definitely have that to talk about next time. But speaking of games, ooh, let me freaking chill for a second. Where's my Steam? Yeah, I literally just bought it like day one. Archvale came out. I've been following this game's devlogs for a very long time. If you look in the comments on YouTube, you'll see I leave like a lot of like actual feedback for the guy. In response to it too, which makes me feel good. I would describe the game as sort of like Enter the Gungeon, but like an open world RPG. Does that not sound great? Because everything about it looks really juicy. So I can't wait to play it.
Fury, it's good to see you. I hope you know what a service you're doing for the humans. You're not just saving lives, you're saving...
Got an upgrade for a medallion.
Let me boost
Who
that
knew?
little trinket I gave you.
He gave me a boost.
Aiming to lay down a mighty hurt, are we?
Everything else is still on slivers, so this is on pieces
I
now.
didn't think that was possible.
That's
but
good.
Now, you're even deadlier.
We're still just using our talons all the time, aren't we? I don't have anything that could actually use the fragments, that's why I have so many. Alright.
Interesting. Take care. And, watch your back.
Well, at least we got one upgrade out of that. Or two. What's our new passive? Wrath reward from Wrath Lurchers. I'll take it. Lurchers when killing an enemy. I don't know which of those is up. Maybe they both increased. Whatever. Those are both good things. We're gonna stop at the Crucible, see how far we can get there.
Please take your time.
It's funny because this is literally the reason I haven't finished Onimusha yet. Right, so the game's like a lot like Resident Evil, in that it's short, but it wants you to do runs in specific ways, you unlock rewards, and then you replay it. So the first one, I'm obviously just exploring everything. I'm not doing the speedy run yet. So, like, I'm trying to do the freaking challenge mission where you go down, what, like 25 levels, something like that. Just all combat. But I'm also trying to not heal, which is making a bit of a pain in the ass. For another achievement, of course. So that I can heal in harder runs. So, like, I just went from doing that to doing this.
Care to... A brave...
Or, you know what? Fuck it. I can tell you right now, the story, not amazing. So, like, I don't need to necessarily finish the game to talk about it, right? I'm, like, almost at the end. I literally have the key to go to the final area. I just haven't done it. So the game opens up with a really long cutscene, which is, like, neat, I guess. It means it has budget, I suppose. There aren't a lot of games that do that. It all seemed pretty irrelevant, though. Like, it's just war stuff. And people making weird faces. I probably mentioned that the lip sync is really bad. I think that it's probably made for Japanese, and they just didn't reanimate it, but it's like, really bad. The voice acting itself is a mixed bag, but like coupled with the freaking bad lip sync, it all seems bad. To make things worse, the cutscenes are all unskippable. So, like, as I said, I was doing a no heal run to get an achievement, and when I die at a boss or whatever, I have to rewatch the whole cutscene with the bad lip sync. It's just like, it's grating, honestly. There aren't too many of them, though. Usually when you get to a boss, it's just like, he walks in the frame, guy makes a bad face, and you go fight him. Oh boy, cat wants out. Hold on, Jinky. Really? Ooh. Right, so obviously I'm playing the remastered version on the PC. Which I guess means that they added in the new controls to make it feel better on a stick. Because it was originally a tank control game, right? And I know that the Resident Evil 1 remake did the same thing, so I'm assuming it's just like, same engine, same whatever. Because they are. On the self-die. And if you play on the D-pad, the tank controls are still in the game. And the game doesn't really give you a combat tutorial ever, so like I didn't know that you can push backwards to kick, but that works a lot better on the D-pad because the character doesn't turn around and run towards the camera like you'd expect them to. They actually just step backwards. Also, like, the stab move only works on the D-pad. Unless you hold the lock-on button, then it goes into that combat mode. Combat's relatively simplistic, otherwise, you just have, like, a combo, a kick, and a stab. And, you know, those are both situational, of course. Then you have a magic attack, which costs mana. When you kill stuff, they drop souls. You have to sit there and hold B to absorb them. And they go away rather quickly, so you actually have to stop, like, mid-fight to absorb the souls, which can take a minute. So there's, like, a bit of an element of strategy to that, to getting your resources back. Especially if you're doing a no-heal run and you really have to get them back. And, you know, they're the three kind of mortars, very much like in this game. Like, one of them's for health, one of them's for mana, and the rest are money, essentially. The money works kind of like God of War, where you just get blood orbs, and then you dump them into a weapon. So you get a new weapon every time you get a new orb. An orb is a key, and I think it also affects the magic damage of that weapon, I'm not sure. So you upgrade the weapon and the orbs separately, but you have to focus on the orbs first, because you need those to open doors. Which is kind of lame, honestly, because sometimes you'll get to a door and, like, you didn't get the one that you needed upgraded, or you have to go find a mirror to dump whatever you have to finally be able to open it. It's just like padding. Another inconvenience with the no-heal run is that sometimes it switches you over to Kaede, the ninja lady, and she can't really kill demons for a minute until you get this special weapon, which you have to do a puzzle to unlock. She's just, like, generally worse at combat. She doesn't have any equipment that you get, really. So basically you just like go speedrun mode and run past everything when you're playing her. The issue is because we're doing the no heal run, I can't heal and she doesn't get her health back any other way. Like, she doesn't absorb souls. So, and that health is maintained between her segments too, so I didn't even know the first time, and I got hit a few times, and now like every time I play her I just have one hit left. Luckily, all you have to do is hold the block button and you block. Very much like Fable 2, and no, all the Fables, actually. You just hold it and you'll be like... You don't even have to reposition yourself at all. Though there are some attacks that are unblockable, and then you should try to dodge. Those are rare, though. The combat is, again, really simplistic. In fact, one of the bosses is like a doppelganger of yourself, and the lack of mechanics like makes the fight really annoying because he just like sits there and blocks all your attacks. And you basically have to wait until he's casting magic to like poke him. Or ideally use your own magic to do bigger damage with that poke. But that was just like really tedious. Otherwise, the bosses don't block very much. They just kind of meatbags. Kind of unceremonious. And like, I get it, it's an older thing, but I feel like it has a bit less, it's a bit less pizzazz than Resident Evil per se. Which I think Resident Evil came out first. It would make sense if it did. This definitely feels like Devil May Cry happened and they like, okay, let's make that just a little more Resident Evil. Even though Devil May Cry 1 was originally a Resident Evil game. There's these stupid number box puzzles that are, like, kind of easy. There's no penalty for failing them, so you just, like, trial and error if you don't understand it. And I don't know, they're just annoying. Otherwise, there's the, not puzzles, where you find an item in a box and you bring it somewhere else. All the various shaped keys. There are also these cipher puzzles, which are actually neat. You pick up books throughout the game, and they have, like, symbols to represent words, and you have to answer a question using those symbols once you've acquired the books to find out what they actually mean. So I actually thought those were neat. However, a bit of a flaw with it is that I can take a screenshot of the solution, and now I can get whatever items in the box in the next run without exploring.
Victory is within reach!
Which I call it a flaw, but in reality that's just like built there for speedrunners, right? So it's probably by design.
Each triumph brings you close for.
I feel like I can make it to wave 10.
Give 'em what for.
It's probably like really pathetic, like I should be able to make it to like first 7 of these at least. Really, it's because I'm like hesitating to use my heals for some reason. It's not like the enemies don't drop them. So I said the game doesn't give you a combat tutorial. It doesn't really give you any tutorials at all. So like, when you pick up the bow or the gun for the first time, you probably won't know how to use them. Like, I figured out how to switch to it by hitting random buttons, but then I couldn't figure out how to fire it. I did eventually, which was necessary for one of the bosses, but again, they could have just given me like a little pop-up or something, jeez. The game's not too bad about the backtracking, but like I feel like it should have gone a bit more in on it. It feels very much like once I'm done with a section, I don't have to go back there ever again. Rather than having a whole interconnected area where like I keep heading back to zones. It very much feels like between the acts of the game, like between boss fights, they're just like places I want you to go. And you don't go to that section of the castle ever again. I don't know, the game's really simple. It is like an early PS2 game, so I shouldn't expect too much. I don't feel like there's that much more to say about it. It's alright. I can't believe I've never heard of it until the remaster came out. Like, it seems like it would have been my thing. But I also, like, don't think it's amazing. Like, there are things that do what it does better, like Devil May Cry, of course. I don't think that it's enough survival horror to be, like, compared to Resident Evil quite like that. It's definitely still on the Devil May Cry side of things. I'd like to see them do, like, an actual remake of it, though. Maybe just combine all 4 of the games, since they're all, like, 3 hours long. So, like, make it all one big game. Could be cool. Obviously, they'd have to rethink the pacing, but, you know, maybe it needs a little rethinking. Also, it's hilarious that it's from, like, the time when the voice acting wasn't, like, a priority, right? Like, they didn't have all these people in a room getting on the same page, working as a team. So there seems to be, like, a lot of misunderstanding about how to pronounce the protagonist's name. And sometimes even the same character can't decide on which is correct. Sometimes it's Samanosuke, sometimes it's Samanosuke, and sometimes it's Samanosuke. Like, they change up the emphasis, and, like, they don't know whether or not to pronounce the K.
Each triumph brings war. Death.
My guts tell me Samanosuke is the correct way they would say it in Japanese, but, like, I read it as K. Also, there's, like, a cutscene where he's explaining what his deal is, why he's, like, a lone samurai, he doesn't serve a lord. He talks about how he, like, traveled the world, he saw all the different cultures, experienced all their technologies and ideas. And he's like, we need to all experience this stuff, so we stop fighting over small lands and stuff. And I was just like, wow, that's actually, like, the least Japanese thing I've ever heard someone say. Like, yeah, he has the right idea, but again, I didn't expect that sentence to be heard in a Japanese game, especially one that, like, came out such a long time ago. It's like, even now, they're still a pretty xenophobic culture. we focus on? Probably the archer, right? Ah! Because I know I can get my heals back from killing, I start to clinch when I'm at half health. Because, like, it'll be embarrassing if I die when I still have heals available. Is that weird? Like, I don't quite need the heal yet at half health, but it's very possible I could get one hit by a big attack at that point. And I freaking have to reset this whole gauntlet. It's like, why didn't you just reset, dude? Why didn't you heal? Ah. Alright. We could probably do better if I shut the fuck up. But, you know, we made it to wave 10. I feel, like, okay about that. But I'm gonna cash out here and, like, see if I can get anything from the shop. I don't know, we might go again. There's only so much grinding I can realistically do, but if I can get my hands on a Chosen Soul, that'll make a huge difference.
Each triumph brings you closer to the pinnacle. Or will you forego these... Take a look, horseman. I may have something that interests you.
50... Oh, I need 50 of them, Christ. And I need to make it to wave 50, so we're not getting that. Could buy an artifact, maybe, or... No, I need to make it all the way. Man, that sucks.
Not to worry. The Crucible can be docked.
How many did I get from that? It only showed one. I got a few. It didn't refresh my Nephilims or Spite, but like I want to try it again where I'm not talking. And then we'll like go do something for real. Getting hit in the first wave, not getting points. Remember how last time I said I was gonna make a boss guide for Sekiro, I think? Well, I did that, so that's up on our channel now. I definitely made like a lot more mistakes in the fights than I thought I would, and it ended up being kind of a long video. But I also edited out like bad runs and stuff, so I don't know. I feel like I made a feasible guide for people who actually need help with the game. Like, sometimes you watch these guides and you're just like, yeah, get good. I'm a professional Bloodborne player. And this game's fucking easy, but you need help because you're a scrub. I'm gonna tell you to do this thing that's really hard to do. But, you know, just get good. But, you know, if you're looking at a guide, you're obviously not that good, so I feel like mine might actually be useful for people. I kind of, like, give general tips, explain game mechanics throughout the whole thing, so, like, it's weird that watching other irrelevant things will still help you out. I feel like it's not gonna get too much attention though, because it's one video. I didn't split it up into individual things. Because some of them are just really short, and some of them are kind of long. So it ended up being like a whole 3-hour thing in total. I time-stamped it, of course, so people can navigate to whatever boss they need. Still, it's longer than it probably should be. I got my achievement for it, finally. That's, like, literally what I was doing mid-thing. I even put it in the video of me getting it. So, I 100%'d the game, I guess, question mark. I didn't complete it, because I didn't do the Gauntlets of Strength. I think that's a waste of time. Though it only now occurred to me that after doing so many New Game Plus runs, I have like how much Divine Grass, how many Jesus statues, I could totally use those to like cheese my way through the gauntlets if I wanted to. Because they don't get consumed when you're in those challenge runs. So like if I have 10 of them, I have 10 extra lives. You know what? I think Volgrim sells an upgrade for my Nephilim's or Spite. I don't know if it's a healing upgrade or another use, but if it's another use, that'll be a game changer. Let me go back to the boss fight. So let's pray.
Or the greater. Don't stop now!
Oh no, oh no! Stop. God. Stop. That freaking throwing knife hit me at the end of the dodge animation. Or some shit. Yeah, great. Okay, well, I suck. I guess we can go back to the boss fight, right? I think it's clear that I'm not making it to wave 25 yet. Honestly, this whole thing seems kind of rough. I think I need to, like, get one of the charms that increases lurcher drops or something. Like, health lurcher drops. That'll be the key to winning this. There has to be one that does it. I might even have it already, I just... Is it, like, the Pillager one or Marauder? And it's to spawn at health lurcher. Yeah. I don't have this on something, but, like... That'll be a big deal. What do I have on Salvation? Damage when held is full, amount of havoc bar generated per minute. I mean, I like that, but I also, like... Yeah, you know, it's fine. Health Lurchers aren't going to help us in a boss fight, so that one's better for the time. But I'll have to remember to invest in the Marauder.
What would you ask of this? Take your time.
Yeah, it looks like I already bought it, damn. I could maybe buy those and get something, but I also don't want to.
This will be fun for both of us. As you wish.
Do I want more health? Do I want more damage?
Good eating. Please take your time.
Mangled Freeway. Order shipped. Alright, back to the boss fight. I was already watching me get my ass kicked for like an hour. Whatever, I ain't using it. Because ain't using it. Shoutouts to untextured boxes, you love to see them. I'm never gonna shut up about it. It's just so jarring when one part of it is textured. If the whole thing was like that, it was like, okay, maybe it's kind of metal, it has texture to it. No, that's just the freaking default Unreal texture. So, the checkerboard pattern is actually a really common thing that people put as, like, a test texture. Just to, like, show that the UV maps on the object are laid out correctly. There's no stretching on it or anything. And if you don't know what a UV map is, essentially... when you make the character, you mark lines on them to, like, be cut open, like if you were skinning an animal, and then you lay it out flat so you can draw the picture on it. And, you know, it just projects onto those coordinates from there. So having a checkerboard pattern shows you, like, whether everything is all consistent or if there's warping on the map, maybe. Because sometimes things don't always come out 100% straight. like a cylinder, when you cut that open, it should be able to come out as a box and 2 circles, right? But you might end up with like a curved box and 2 circles. And you want to correct that so that the texture doesn't like flow incorrectly when you're actually looking at it. That's why that exists. And I think it's neat that they make it the default in Unreal, because in Unity it's just like a flat white. There is no test texture built in. I don't want to say that Unity's unprofessional, but it seems more professional that they have that like as a default.
A puppet! Join me, and let's pull the strings together.
But in my opinion, it goes too far with its defaults. Like, everything has a slightly gray filter because they want people to make mature games in it. And you can change that, but like, if you go in and you're just like, you know, you're trying to make a little happy platformer, everything looks freaking Justice League-y. Yeah, it's strange, and you won't know what the issue is. Oh boy. We're just trying to get in the groove of things. I'm not taking this fight too seriously quite yet. I remember last time we decided to stand still and like punish her. So I'm still trying to get into the groove of that. I remember there was one run where we made it to the second phase without using any heals, so like that's her ultimate goal. She's not the problem, the big guy is. Or rather, the big guy attacking alongside her is the problem. I can't handle them both at once, it's bullshit. Wow, I jumped right into that.
Right now, that's true lust. Oh, it feels nice.
True lust. Right back. 2022.
Time with demons and maidens. If you really want to prove your power, stand with me. Before you.
I can just use this. I'm just gonna stand next to her. Ah.
Even if I do, you will always win. What if? Save yourself that torture and join me.
Yeesh. We're getting it. I'm just like... I'm being too chillaxed right now. Like, I'm not taking it seriously enough because it's a practice run, but like, I need to be more in there. Because sometimes I'm just letting her hit me. That's not okay, man. I'll be here forever at this rate. Alright, so the other game that I played was called Symmetry, which I think I got for free on GOG at some point. I'm also pretty sure it's a mobile game, which, I don't know, it's feasibly a mobile game. You just, like, tap people and tell them to do things, like, you know, it's not too complex. Let's see, we got like a minimalist art style. It's flat colors and shapes. Kind of like dystopian-ish looking. Like, what's the show? In the city of Townsville, Powerpuff Girls. It looks kind of like the Powerpuff Girls, but like less moe. So basically, your spaceship crashed on a sort of winter planet, and you gotta collect shit to get out of there real quick. Most of the crew is allegedly dead. You get 3 surviving members, and a few other will show up over time. Now, the intro picture shows a lot of crew members, and it blurs out all but the 3 who survived, and it picks them at random. But in my time playing it, I only met like 6 of the survivors, so I don't know how many there actually are, or if like the good guys only come at later stages in the game or something. But your goal is basically to get out of there as quickly as possible, so I don't stay till the later stages. It had 2 difficulty levels. I picked the harder one from the beginning just because, you know, if you never had easy as an option, then hard is just the game, alright? That's the new idea. As long as it's not gonna wipe my save data, we will pick the hardest. So yeah, as I said, the game, you just click on a character, tell them to do a thing. There are 4 things there are a few things to do. One is collect wood, which, you know, it's fuel for the shelter. It burns like 1 unit an hour. There are heaters in all the rooms, which you have to repair occasionally. If the heater is not working, people will just take health damage over time. Which in the early stages of the game, I just let them take the health damage. Like, I don't even bother with heating. Because you have 2 healing pods as well. So they can just, like, step in that for a while and come back out. There's a food production thing where people grow food on a computer, I guess, and they eat it. If the refrigerator's broken, that food will rot very quickly. Otherwise, it's really not too much of an issue. You just have someone sit in the lodge all day and collect food. They take less health damage than if they were outside. And there's scrap collection, which is the main goal. You use scrap to repair things that break down occasionally. You can use it to upgrade your storage capacities, which you need to win. And you can also upgrade the weatherometer, weather radar, whatever you want to call it. Which, I don't know what does beyond the first upgrade. The first one just tells you what the weather is currently, which is kind of useful, I guess. It only really matters when a storm comes and it's like deadly outside. So the second upgrade tells you what the weather's like tomorrow, and like I don't know why you would need more than that. Just take it on a day-by-day basis. There's also like a backup battery if the power goes out and you need to repair the generator, but you can't even use that right away until the guy who knows how to work the generator shows up. And then there's like a study station, right? So everyone has a skill set, and some people can only do certain things. And they all start with like a small proficiency in it, and when they study, they can increase their proficiency up to the max level. And that's just like the amount of time they can spend doing a task. So if you got like 10% of your wood gathering, you'll go out there, collect 1 piece of wood, and walk back, and like it's really shitty and inefficient. So you tell them to study for a while, and then they can eventually bring back 10 wood. I should mention that the trees and scrap piles disappear over time until they are at the edges of the screen. So another advantage to not using the wood right away is just that there's close wood when you actually need it. Which, once the weather gets to like 40 degrees or so every day is when you'll start to need it. But when it's at like 20, the health damage you're taking over time is like minimal. So it's not a big deal. Sit there and freeze to death. The real thing you just want is the scrap, because shit's gonna break down constantly, and then you need to upgrade all your things. And you need to spend like a ton of it to buy the 3 things to get off the planet. And now every like couple storms a new character will show up, and they do it kind of unannounced, and they just don't do anything when they show up, so it's kind of annoying when you realize that you have someone who could be working but he's not, and like maybe he just freezes to death and you never even made him work. When someone freezes to death, you can bury them for reasons, I don't know, or you can eat them, which is more useful. There doesn't seem to be a good or bad ending for maximizing the people who get off the planet, or whether or not you hate at all. There's no mood meter, it's just health and food, really. You do have to tell people to go eat and heal, like that doesn't happen automatically, and the healing chambers can break down. So, because the game's so slow, you'll put it on the fast motion, but then you might end up accidentally letting someone freeze or starve to death. And the death starve... When someone's health meter is empty, the starving is instant death. It's not like over time, which is kind of bullshit.
And let's pull the strings together.
So... That's the game. There's some initial strategy in, like, figuring out what you actually need to do, like, gathering food quickly, just having a lot stored up, and then sending that person to go gather scrap as well. Having everyone just gather scrap to get out of there real quick.
The self-righteous
I feel like the game fails in that it encourages you to get out of there really quick, right? But over time, the story starts happening with this freaking big machine rogue AI thing coming out and talking to you. And I feel like I left before I got the whole story. But, like, I also don't want to go back and try to survive longer just to read text and, like, not even try to win. And I don't know if there's a lose condition under that. Like, maybe I don't want them to talk that much, or it will make me lose for some other reason.
That one you're in right now, that's true love. Oh, it feels nice.
Yeah, it was relatively short. I think I only played like 5 hours of it or something, and that was it. There is like an endless mode you can do, but that's pointless.
Power corrupts, but absolute power crushes the self-righteous to death. Could have been the ultimate power. So
Yeah, whatever, the game was free, I don't feel bad about spoiling it. When you get to the end, basically, so the AI was built by humans, obviously, and somebody forgot about it, and, like, it just shows up when you're on the planet. It's apparently what made you crash. I guess it possessed the ship or whatever. And when you get off the planet, it comes with you on the ship and says that it's been controlling the survivors the whole time. So, like, here's, like, you know, horror movie twist, I guess. it makes me feel like I didn't win it all, which is kind of bullshit, but maybe if I was even faster, that wouldn't have happened. Like, if theoretically I just had everyone gather scrap, I might have been able to get out of there in time, because they starve really slowly. So, like, if we get out before the AI actually shows up, that might be a different condition, I have no idea. I don't know, I guess that was a bit of a mindfuck at the end where they're like, it was actually you, I think, because, like, the game made me automate the people, right? It made me treat them like machines, and they didn't have free will the whole time. They just did what I told them to, and, like, I think that I was supposed to be the AI, right? That's how I interpreted it, anyways. So maybe I made it a bit cooler than it was. That's all there is to the game. It was very simple. It wasn't very fun. I played it, but again, it was only 5 hours, so, like, I didn't mind. Watching the trailer for the game and then, like, actually playing it were two very different things. I feel a little misled. It's not like everything in the trailer didn't happen, but, like, I thought it was a different kind of game. I feel like this is probably some, like, student project or something, and, like, for that, I would give them, like, a thumbs up. But I don't think I would have paid, like, more than $1 for it.
If you really want to prove your power, stand with me, and it's all you. So we were talking about Onimusha earlier. The whole time I was playing it, I was like, this kind of reminds me of Skautfold Moonless Night. And then I was like, I don't think I ever actually talked about that one. I talked about the other 3 games, but, like, I don't think I ever talked about Moonless Night for some reason. So, for those unaware, this is a series made of indie, celestial horror, Lovecraft stuff. They're RPGs, I guess. They're all made by one guy, Pugware. I don't know, they're pretty good. They all have really good atmosphere. He definitely is a fan of, like, Souls-like games, so that's where most of the mechanics are inspired from. The first one was sort of like a 2D Bloodborne remake. He's actually working on, like, a new version of it with more content at the moment. He kind of had to remake the whole thing, though, because he ported it into a new engine. The second game is, like, Symphony of the Night, and it's actually very good. And the third game is, like, a top-down Doom, and that's probably the funnest of the bunch. Not to say that the second one was bad by any means, but, like, it's just a really fun time, actually.
Though it's uglier, because he went for, like, a top-down thing. Right, so, the fourth game, Moonless Night, this one has you go to Japan as the Knight Grey. And yeah, you just, like, explore a castle, kill enemies, collect treasures, upgrade your weapons, find new weapons, find some new tools. It has some light Zelda inspiration with the tools, like you'll get a bow or a grapple hook or stuff. Use those to solve some puzzles, fight bosses with them. It still uses the top-down art style, so, like, it's still in, like, the kind of ugly thing that the third game had, but, like, it's not bad. Now, the main point of the combat in this game is the guard system, which works kind of like the armor in Greedfall, I guess. Like, it's sort of a stamina meter that prevents you from taking health damage, but you also lower your guard when you attack, right? So, like, it is literally stamina. And when your stamina is depleted, you can keep attacking, but, like, it'll be slow. And you also leave yourself open to taking health damage. And that just works exactly how it works. Like, it's the same way for enemies. And your max health, how much health you have left, determines how much that bar can fill back up. So once a guy is weakened, they just die easier. It works kind of like the posture in Sekiro, I guess. As well. I don't know, it's a solid system. But it also just feels like more health at a certain point. And if you happen to be fighting multiple enemies at once, it's kind of annoying to, like, not be making progress on the ones that you aren't constantly working on. It's of course a Lovecraft thing, so there's just, like, weird shit that you find sometimes and puzzles that you might not be able to figure out for bonus content, if there even is a solution. And, you know, that just, like, the weird vibes kind of drive you insane, and that's kind of the point. But things are also getting, like, a little more goofy as things go on. Like, the worlds have been collided for a while now, so, like, there are just demons about that you talk to, and they actually try to explain stuff, some of the weird stuff.
Time with demons and makers. If you really want to prove
like,
stand with me, and it's all
there was one of the guys I talked to, and, he was explaining how Ragnarok actually happened. Like, at the end of the first game, a citadel shows up, which is like a sort of, you know, like the Citadel in Mass Effect. Like, it's just a big city that flies around space, and it has a bunch of other races on it. And those are how people survive their worlds being consumed by the Elder Gods. There's a couple on Earth, and, like, the point of this game is you're trying to dig up a citadel that we've found exists underneath a castle in Japan. So that you can get the hell off Earth because the moon is about to hatch. Hence the name Moonless Night. Yeah, doesn't that fuck you up? What if the moon was just a big egg? Some people think the sun's an egg too, but, like, the moon... have you ever heard Hollow Moon Theory? Apparently when we, like,
hit the moon with ultrasonic waves, it makes like a bell, like it resonates, which would imply that there's an empty space in the middle of it for whatever reason. We haven't taken a drill up there to dig yet, though. But we've also allegedly encountered aliens as soon as we went up there, and we just like, alright, we're never coming back.
Power corrupts, but absolute power crushes the self-righteous to death.
That's not even the game I'm talking about. That's like real shit. Right, anyways, well, apparently one of the first people to navigate a citadel was literally Thor. Like, he was a real guy. He fought off an invasion before already, and then he left. And I guess Asgard would be that citadel. Which makes you think that, like, all the other mythologies in the world in this universe maybe have a bit more truth to them.
Stop wasting time with demons and makers, horsemen.
So, an issue with it is, much like this game, you get new weapons, or, no, you start with all the weapons, actually, and, like, you just pick whichever one suits your playstyle. But there aren't enough collectibles in the game to really upgrade all of them, so, like, you just pick one or two, and then you stick to those. If you're trying to evenly distribute the upgrades, you're screwing yourself, which kind of sucks. You know, they're all very well defined, I felt. Like, I had uses for all the ones that I liked. I think I went with, like, the great sword, the spear, and the daggers, specifically. But, you know, like in Zelda, you just pull out the shield whenever. I don't think that having the great sword or the daggers made a difference with that.
The self-righteous to dust.
They brought back a mechanic from the first game, which was whether or not you want to kill or spare the bosses. Which probably won't affect anything towards the end, but it does.
The things we could do together.
Sparing some of the bosses can help you out later on. Like, one of them is a Tengu, right? A trap demon, like a mischief maker. And if you let him live, he will disarm all the traps for you, so you won't just, like, walk over spikes and get hurt anymore. As if you killed him, the traps would persist. And, like, that's all there is to that. There's another guy who's, like, a yellow dude who throws spears at shit, lightning spears, and if you let him live, you'll occasionally see enemies that have just been impaled. Because he's your boy now. His fight was actually kind of funny, right? He's like sets up like a fence, a damage fence that you don't want to walk through with his spears. So instead of walking to him, I just like used the grapple hook and I pulled myself right to him. And he teleports away, but like I just kept pulling myself to him and he got shat on.
You won't accept my generosity, but to dally with angels.
Like, it feels like the whole point was for him to teleport away, and then I was supposed to chase after him so he could regenerate his guard meter, but I just didn't let his guard regenerate at all, because I just kept zooping over to him.
The things we could do together. If only you weren't so damn stubborn, you will fall. This now.
I don't feel like there were any level ups in the game. I don't remember though. Maybe there were. Though mechanically it's too simple for that. Because the second game had like RPG systems in it, right? You could pick stats and specialize in those weapon types. I don't think that's a factor here though. So, like, I guess I could say I wish they were there, but, you know, that would also overcomplicate the game. I think that's elegant in its design. It does what it needs to do. No, overall, I had a solid time playing it. It's not my favorite entry in the franchise, but like it was good.
Even if I do that, you will always wonder what if. Save yourself.
I'm still looking forward to the next one, of course, but I don't think he's actually actively working on it. And presumably it's going to be the finale. So like I am hoping it's going to be good. No, he is working on it, actually. I've seen, like, a screenshot. And we're, of course, playing the freaking Gothic Lolita Reaper chick in that one.
Things we could do together. If only you weren't so damn stubborn.
Right, I probably should have mentioned that they're doing, like, a Darksiders thing. Like, the bosses of the first game, you spared them all canonically, so they became your allies again, and then you're playing all of them in the following games. So we're on the last character. I feel like that one had like the most stuff that I didn't understand in it, like the most weird what the fuck moments. Puzzles that I feel like I probably could have, that I couldn't figure out. I feel like there should have been a solution. I probably missed content. But overall, I liked it anyways, and again, recommend the whole franchise. I bought the first 3 games initially in a bundle for really cheap. So, you know, when December, it is December, whenever the winter sale happens on Steam, just buy it. Probably be like $10 to get all of them. They're definitely worth your time.
This is a one-time, terribly generous offer, Fury. Wise up and take it. Even if I do, you will always wonder, what if? Save yourself back here. Join me now. Stop wasting time with demons and me. If you really want to prove your power, stand with me, and it's all you.
No. How many fortifiers do I actually have? I think the game limits how many you can have in your hotbar at a moment, right? I think it's like 4. But if I have like 10 or something, I'll use one in this run. No, I literally have 4. Shit. I don't want to waste them. If I get to the second phase with like 3 heals left, I'll use it. I've been trying to do all my counters with the freaking flames because that causes burning. But if all we're doing is counters, then like I decide that I need to switch back to the whip because that's just what does the most damage. It's not like I'm poking her in between counters, right? Like I just have to do this. It's the only real new development we've made this whole fight, this whole time period.
Oh, it feels nice, doesn't it?
It would be nice to get my health back.
Power corrupts, but absolute peace crushes the self-righteous to dust. Oh, the things we could do together. If only you weren't so damn stubborn. I am your enemy. That feeling, that one you're in right now, that's true love.
God damn it.
Sorry that you involved us.
I wish there was somewhere else we could go. But I don't think there is. I feel like they make you go a really long time with just these 2 hollows, actually. Like, you get these 2 so close to each other, and then you have to go through, like, 3 areas before you get to this one. I don't even freaking like the storm one. I feel like I used it a lot originally, but I'm just not feeling it. I feel so bad. Hit.
Accept my generosity, but you dally with angels. I'm offended.
Nah, man. I really wish there was a block button. Dodging's cool and all, I just want the option.
You won't accept my generosity, but you dally with angels. I'm offended. If only you weren't so damn stubborn. That one you're in right now, that's true lust. Oh, it feels nice. Power corrupts, but absolute power crushes the self-righteous. That feeling, that one you're in right now, that's true lust. Oh, it feels nice, doesn't it?
Alright, now we're on the next guy. In the Shazam. I forgot that I didn't have the burn active, so I probably did less damage than I could have. And we died anyways.
Let your rage cost us both.
God, my throat. There's something in it. Nah, it's actually closing up a little bit. I'm not wheezing yet, but I'm probably gonna have to use my medicine later.
Wasting time with demons and me. If you really want to prove your power, stand with me, and it's all yours. Stop wasting time with demons and makers. If you really want to prove your power, stand with me, and it's all yours.
Shit.
Power corrupts, but power crushes the self-righteous. Even if I do that, you will always wonder, what if? Save yourself that talk.
Oh my god. The dodge attack just killed me. It happened 3 times in a row, and every time I dodged into her attack because of it. I don't think it's directional, you just, like, dodge backwards, and if you attack, you jump right back to where you were. That's some shit. I don't like it. If I do it from the side, I can do attacks, so maybe that's what we gotta do. So it's a swipe attack, so it only makes sense for me to dodge backwards, right? Maybe I should just like double dodge or something if I really don't want to go back in. Again, this boss is all just a lesson in patience. We're not learning to fight the boss, we're learning to fight my impatience.
If you really want to prove your power, stand with me, and it's all you.
Fighting my bad habits.
Sorry.
Oh man. I'm getting gamer sweaty. I turned off the heater before we even started. And it's freezing outside. It's still happening. You know, it started freaking snowing already. I haven't even finished doing all the leaves yet. Like, now they're all soaked and covered in snow, man.
And let's pull this.
Fucking blows. It's not a big deal, though. I got him out of the driveway, at least. That's the important part. It's not like I'm playing it anymore.
You will always wonder what it is. Save yourself that torture. Join me.
I'm building a snowman's fun and all, but that's all you can really do by yourself. Or you can slide down the hill too, of course. But like the thing about winter is all the animals are gone. It's kind of just like silent and like very lonely. It's kind of spooky even. You're out there alone. No, I don't like being out there alone.
Oh, it feels nice.
You know, all the animals being gone, I mean, I'm technically safer, but like, it just feels dead outside, man.
Rise up and take it. Always slaving away for others. A puppet. Join me, and let's pull the strings together.
Ah! That was a really quick stab. I didn't like that.
Power corrupts, but absolute power crushes the self-righteous to dust.
What?
You will slave the way for others. A puppet. Join me, and let's pull the strings together.
I think this will be a run where I actually use the shard.
The things we could do together. If only once stop.
Oh my god, I fucked up.
Stop wasting time with demons and mystics. Stand with me, and it's all you.
Sorry,
Taking the ultimate power.
but some
Ah, you bitch. Boy. Oh boy.
This is a one-time generous offer. Rise up.
Using it. Alright, we should be good. If I don't completely drop the ball here. I'm high-key, like, not looking at anything right now. My eyes don't know what the hell is happening. Alright, he's dead. My greed wants me to go for this, but I have to wait a second to heal. Okay, now we're safe.
A puppet. Join me, and let's pull this.
Woo! Hardest boss in the game, baby.
Who gave you the power to raise the dead?
The one constant in the universe. Those who possess the most power inevitably crave more. Lust is everlasting. As for who, know this. I was merely a pawn. A feeling you know all too well. Fury. The angels who killed your Steve. Pawns as well.
Then who? Tell me!
The players in that game will reveal themselves in time. What if I reveal something even more valuable? Spare me, and I'll give up the location of my fellow sin. Envy.
Nah.
And why would you do that?
What reason would I have to protect that sniveling coward? She has never experienced frontline combat. She has never experienced the horrors of war. She is the most pathetic of us. Get me to the edge of Haven, and what you want will be yours.
An attractive offer. But I'm tired of your kind underestimating my intelligence. I'll find the rest of the sins by myself.
Also, Envy was the first one that we fought. I mean, I know we played the game before, so we know she's still alive.
At your core, you were just an endless void that could never be filled.
But she doesn't know that.
Disappointing.
Oh, hey, he's alive.
Finish it. I am ready.
Fuck you.
I think not. Mistress! Lust's call to power is intoxicating. Even more so when one is fueled by grief. Usil's transgression can be forgiven. Once. I have a better understanding of what's happened to the Earth and what's at stake because of it. You're of no use to me, Dad. If we are to survive, all of us, alliances must be made.
An alliance? With him?
I don't know what to say.
Say that you'll return the favor. I may soon need it.
My word may hold no weight, but my life is yours, Fury. If I learn of any plotting against you, I will relay the information.
Did I just witness mercy shown to a filthy angel? Just as soon have your head on a pike.
Are you or are you not a Watcher? Because you should know better. This quest we're on is about balance, in the world and within me, it seems. Lust showed me what I could become. It is not what I want to be.
And what do you want to be?
I think that's what I'm here to find out.
Wow. Finally realized that she's kind of a bitch and she doesn't like it. Hey, he's giving me the purple. I actually like the Warhammer because it's slow and does big damage. Also, the actual power it gives you is pretty dope, too.
Curious. Very curious indeed. With each new challenge, you show more depth.
What do you want?
Both you and I are painfully aware of the endless parade history inflicts upon us. Creatures so pathetically focused on one single purpose. But these creatures are, ironically, completely devoid of meaning.
Make your point, Lord of Hollows.
It's just surprising. No. Refreshing to see something headed in the opposite direction. You are coming into a greater awareness of the flaws that kept you in chains.
Flaws?
Shall I list them?
No, thank you. I've seen enough recently to know they are many.
Which is exactly why I give you this. Then by holding it, the raw power of Force itself is yours.
It vibrates in my hand. I don't understand.
It's called a Hitachi.
You will know when and how to use it.
No, not
Woo! Yeah, so we're just not in the boss room, I guess. Sheesh. How are we on time? How long did that take us? Hour 40? I'm gonna assume that we spent like an hour and 20 on that, at least. That's about my estimate. I said, who wants to watch me get my ass beat for an hour? I kept my promise. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm assuming that just is knockback or something.
The Force, Hollow. You are a relentless horseman. It's quite impressive. Enchanting, even.
Keep your flattery to yourself, if you wish to keep your head.
Noted. Your duty to the Serpentine Path remains unfinished. Unlock the next chamber and make with the killing.
And he's right, but I kind of want to explore a bit first.
Good eating.
Mm.
Farewell for now.
Then again, we're able to go grab the next hollow like immediately after this, so maybe I shouldn't explore as much as it would be helpful. I don't think we need it for the next boss necessarily.
I could get very used to this level of power.
Also, what's this? Alright. This looks like War's sword. I was gonna say I'm not even gonna upgrade this one until I find out what the other weapon is.
Power I have in mind.
Different horsemen cannot be choosers.
But we have like a lot of the small boys. We can probably afford it. We'd upgrade it just to the basic 2 levels or something.
The Lord of Hollows will never be accused of subtlety.
Time to find the next sin.
Are you certain? I'm just asking. Seems to me you might be going a little soft. At least that's what the Lord of Hollows appeared to see in you.
If you truly want to see how I have softened, question my resolve again.
That. There was a game called Grime that came out that looked like a Souls-like Metroidvania. And you have a black hole for a head that looks a lot like this. You're also like made of rocks yourself. And the game looks pretty freaking cool. I've been meaning to play it, but I haven't yet. I might pick that up. It's at like a 20% off or sale or something. Really, most of the stuff I buy for every year just comes from the winter sale at the end, so like I'm really excited to do my shopping. Obviously, I buy a few things here and there as they come out, like I'm probably gonna buy Elden Ring.
All I'm saying is, there's been a change. It's natural, I think, after all you've been exposed to here.
Later on.
What do you mean?
Need I remind you, there is no absolute good, nor is there absolute evil in the universe. Those are human concepts. The Charred Council is aware of this. It's the very reason for their continued existence.
The way you blather on. What are you trying to say?
Heaven and hell are not absolutes either. Seen with the proper perspective, they are simply 2 opposing forces scrambling to gain power over this sad ball of mud.
It is the way of all things.
Precisely. But why would they be so focused on this rock and its teeming bacteria when there is an entire cosmos to explore and to conquer?
Because Earth's special. And we want to believe that we're special as Earthlings. And, yeah. And we're definitely God's favorite children, right? Every kid wants to believe that they're the favorite. Now, legitimately, there is, like, a unique force field created by our sun around our star cluster that, like, keeps out cosmic radiation coming from the core and other suns that are much bigger, of course. So, like, Earth is a bit of a unique situation, but, like, it's not unique, you know? There's way too many other stars out there for it to be 100% not replicated elsewhere.
Yes, keeping them occupied with this miserable conflict. The greater universe has a chance of being yours.
That is a curious method for seeking balance, especially for being so powerful.
Yes, very curious. So I'm just saying, if you were in doubt, I would understand.
Man, I've been thinking about playing Spore again. Maybe that would be something that we should do on stream. I've never actually beaten it. Like, I know there's no end, but, like, you're supposed to fight your way into the center of the galaxy, and I know what happens, and you just, like, keep going after that and fucking with shit. But really, I just want an excuse to, like, talk about evolution and space and other stuff like that. Capitalism, religion, warmongering. There are plenty of topics that we can talk about that'll be relevant to Spore. Though I want to focus mostly on the biology side of things to avoid offending people like we constantly do. And, you know, I'm a nerd, an actual nerd. I like learning things. I'm very smart, I'd like to think. There are a lot of things I'm ignorant of because they don't interest me, but biology is definitely one of them that do interest me. I don't know, that could be fun, right? I just, like, I'm worried that I'll have to stop at some point because we are unlikely to beat the game. There's a lot of grinding that happens in the space stage. And, like, it doesn't sit right with me to leave it unfinished like that. I forget the name of it, but I was watching a video earlier of a game that was like just the cell and creature stages of Spore. And it's like open source too, like it's a free to play thing. It's actually just meant to be like an actual simulation of evolution. But it's definitely very much a video game. And I don't know, it looks pretty sick. Maybe I should check that one out instead. I also low-key want to go back to Mass Effect Andromeda. I know I didn't finish it, but I did play a lot of it, and I didn't hate it. I just, like, got kind of bored after, like, 50 hours or so. But, like, I feel like I could finish it theoretically. I really didn't think it was a bad game. Of course, I played it in its patch state. After it wasn't, like, hilariously bad. And the story was boring, of course. That's why it didn't keep my attention for more than 50 hours, but the game itself was fun, I think. Usual open world bullshit, but, like, the combat is fun. That's what you're spending most of the time doing. And then I like your ability to multi-class level whatever trees you want. There's a lot of depth with the character building compared to the other games. They really had some good ideas. Hello? Oh, you know what? I never equipped an enchantment. We should probably make it the Marauder, right?
Good eating.
Just take me back to the Maker's Forge so I can upgrade this thing a little bit. It'll help.
What do you need, horseman? Aiming to lay down a mighty hurt, are we?
Wait. What?
Didn't think it was possible.
Slivers are the smallest ones? Then
And
what
assassin
do I have so many of? Do I have like a high-end material that I just can't use right now? I think so. Yeah, up to 6+. Huh. That sucks. Where are all my slivers at, bruv?
Stay a fury.
Greetings. Please take your time.
think Volgrim sells the slivers. I should probably buy them. Instead of leveling up. Oh shit, he's alive. Woo. Damn. PFW Big Hammer hits less than Fast Flip. And it's because it's rank 1. Sucks to suck. Ah! I should just this anyways. Old habits die hard. That's why they call me Die Hardman. No! Son of a bitch, you fucking lag. Guys, I want a new GPU. My current one's not bad. It's relatively cheap. I think you can buy it right now for like $250. And, you know, it's capable of maxing The Witcher 3 and Rise of the Tomb Raider. Probably Shadow of the Tomb Raider 2, though I haven't played that one yet. I can even kind of run the NVIDIA Hairworks, which, you know, it's an AMD card, so it's obviously not going to run well. Like, that program is specifically optimized for NVIDIA cards. It's kind of bullshit, but alright. Yeah, I can even kind of run those. So, like, you know, it's a decent card, but it kind of can't keep up with modern games, and then when we're streaming, it's a bit more of an issue. We talked about it with Assassin's Creed, like, it's by no means a big deal, because those games still look amazing, even on, like, medium-low settings. But I'm a gamer. I should be maxing them, you know? The issue is, not only do they cost like $1,000, which is twice as much as a fucking console, which can run things that look great anyways, but they're just not available because people are still fucking doing the fucking Bitcoin farms. The issue got so bad that the next generation of cards that come out is actually going to have limiters on them to make that not viable. Like, they're gonna have their own separate line of cards specifically for mining, so they don't fuck over gamers and people who want to make computers. And, you know, that's just really messed up, man. This issue's been going on for like 4+ years now. I think they could have done something about it sooner if it was possible. And, like, you couple that with the fucking console shortage, and it's just a real shame. Fucking scalpers don't let people play video games, and then nobody can afford GPUs to play video games. I'm seriously considering just buying a whole ass pre-built computer and taking the card out of it. Because, see, the one I want specifically is only $750. Because I don't trust NVIDIA cards. I've only used one and, like, it fucking crashed all the time. So, yeah, I'm like an AMD fanboy in that respect. So, you know, it's in less demand. If you're buying one of those fucking pre-built Uber PCs, it's not gonna have an AMD card in it, though it'll probably have a Ryzen processor. So, you know, the ones that I want are in the cheaper computers. And that's why it would be somewhat kind of beneficial for me to get it. Because if I just pay like $1,200, I can buy a whole ass computer, swap out the cards, and then I can go flip the computer. Right? Because people don't generally trust used GPUs because they don't know if it came from a coin farm or not, right? But if you're selling it as part of a pre-built computer, people are more likely to buy it secondhand. So, like, even just having the rest of the computer to resell the card increases my chances of actually getting some of the money back on it. So, you know, if I can get like 500 beans out of it, I would be happy with that. That's a fair trade. I get my $700 card, then I get the rest of that money back. And somebody gets a decent computer. I don't have to feel bad about it. I'm not screwing anyone. It's a decent card. I'm seriously considering it, but right now I have to, like, buy Christmas gifts and stuff, you know? And, you know, I would shit my pants if somebody got me it for Christmas, but it's too expensive for me to expect it as a gift, so, like, it's gonna have to be a gift to myself. But I can't buy things for myself until I've gotten stuff for everyone else. Them's just the rules. But I also low-key want to buy it before we get too deep into December, because people are probably going to be buying them. And the stock is, of course, limited. So, I don't know, I might get myself one for Christmas, but we also might have to wait till, like, January. Why am I even trying to fight this big man? He's hard, he's beating my ass, and he probably doesn't have loot. Like, why am I bothering? This is the same issue when we fought the other one, right? I just wanted to prove something, but like, what is it?
I can run by them. I think I will, because I'm tired of looking at this place. All this fucking water, it's like piss colored, makes me have to piss. I don't want to see it. Did I destroy his beam? Ah. Come here, you bitch. I don't want this guy chasing me down while I'm running away. Because he has projectiles.
Wide-eyed friend. Try not to scream like a child.
You try to die.
And there's loot over here, though. I can't tell if I was supposed to hit that, or if that's like a shortcut for later on. But there's loot. You know I want the loot. Fuck. Okay, so animes. We've still got a list of stuff to talk about. I still picked the biggest topic on there. I've finally watched the Evangelion movies. Now, I've watched, you know, the original series and the retcon ending movie before, so I wasn't too interested in the 3 movies that already existed, because I thought it was just gonna be more of it, right? Like, it's just gonna
I already watched it, I didn't need to see it again. But I was incorrect in that assumption. I recommend watching all of them, actually. So, it covers less ground initially, and it changes up some story beats. What the fuck? Like, there was the whole arc when Shinji and Asuka were, like, trying to get in sync with each other so they could take down one of the monsters. And they did, like, a whole montage where they learned to actually live together. That, like, doesn't happen in the movies. In general, I feel like his relationship with Asuka was really undermined in favor of just, like, she's hot, and, she doesn't like me, and that's also kind of hot. Which was the whole point of it, originally, but, like, there was more to it. I feel like there's more substance to that. And considering that's, like, a key point of the show, I think that was probably, like, a bad move on their part. Anyways, you get... And the first movie is just, like, abridged first half of the show, I guess. And then by the end of the second one, things start to get, like, seriously divergent from where things were originally. And then the third movie was all original content, which is, like, you'd think I would have heard about that when I did my research, but no. Yeah, that was all completely original content. It did its own thing, and then the fourth movie came out this year, like 8 years later or something. And, you know, there's finally a conclusion there, but that's, of course, all unique content again. And, yeah, that was just enjoyable. I didn't think that I was actually going to get more stuff to work with, but they gave me a lot more stuff. So the show itself is, you know, it's a mecha thing, but they're fleshy mechas, kind of like Attack on Titan, I guess. And they didn't, in the movies, they didn't explain what the deal with them was, I don't think. Maybe I just went over my head. But in the show, they did. And I don't want to spoil it, because again, I'm recommending you just watch all of them, if you're interested. Basically, the children pilot big robots, and they're all really fucking depressed, and there's reasons for that. It's important, and every time they kill one of the big monsters, which are called angels, yes, they are literally angels, the world gets a little more fucked up, kind of like when one of the gods dies in God of War, right? And, you know, that's cool and all, but it's all secondary. The show is really like a character study. It's all very much like... psych-analysis, right? And it's very depressing and stuff. And that was kind of what separated it from Gundam at the time, which was, of course, like the other mecha show. That and, like, Ultraman. Super Sentai, of course. And, you know, it was, of course, great, which is why everyone talks about it. Though I think there is, like, a cultural barrier with some of this stuff, like... It's probably a bit more normal to them. But, like, we got, like, a horny 13-year-old, incredibly depressed, living with a pedo. With an abusive father who cheats on his mother, and the adults are all very terrible in the show, if you couldn't tell by this description, but, like, by Western standards, they are that much worse. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Shinji's a bitch. I do not like him at all. Like, if you're gonna do a depressed character, you have to at least make me feel bad for them, but, like, this kid does nothing to solve his problems, man. He's just fucking... he's pathetic. And allegedly he's, like, a self-insert for the writer, which would explain a lot, I guess. And that's why it kind of took so long for him to come up with an actual ending for it. Because he only, like, dealt with his depression very recently. Like, he's over it now, I guess. So the reason the first two attempts to make an ending for it didn't work out, and why he had to go make movies instead, was because he didn't have an answer yet. So, like, I can applaud that, but if he is anything like Shinji, he's a bitch. Ah, shit, another one. God, my throat is actually starting to close up a bit more now.
Come and get me! I am
So, yeah, there's still, like, a lot of weird sexual stuff going on. And that's very much at the core of a teenage boy's depression, of course. But I feel like the adults are, like, a lot worse in the movie, question mark? Like, not psychologically worse, but, like, more evil, if that makes sense. And I feel like they just gloss over a lot of things in the movies. Like, I guess just they were maybe assuming that you've watched the original series, which is not okay, because I feel like people would be more likely to just watch the movies if they have the right ending to it all, right? Though it also simultaneously went into more detail on some things that weren't completely explained before, which is really weird. Beans, don't you yawn in the mic. Get out of here. Get off my desktop, I can't see. Move. Sorry, Beans. Also, they, like, injected another character for some reason. And I do not feel that she was very well done. Like, the third movie opens up with her doing Operation, and then she shows up randomly. And she becomes important in the fourth movie. And then she becomes Asuka's replacement. And it's like, why? Like, in a way, I feel like she was necessary in how they cut out Shinji's whole relationship with Asuka. Like, it wouldn't have made sense if they, like, got together at the end or whatever. Which they shouldn't have. Though, I think like... with the way things were at the end of the first movie, jeez, I can't say the first movie, the end of Evangelion movie, I felt like him just, like, choking her at the end, like, that was perfect. That's exactly what should have happened. So, like, I feel like they kind of fucked up that whole situation, and then adding in the third girl just, like, more overcomplicated, and it was kind of like a shoo-in thing. I didn't feel like she contributed enough to the movies to justify her inclusion in screen time, as opposed to cutting out what they cut out. Rey got more screen time though, so that was good, I guess. They cut out stuff with her too, but I guess I liked what they did with her. I swear this doorway is like a load zone or something. I need to get the fuck away from it. Son of a whore. So, I don't know. I have, like, mixed opinions on them. I feel like they cut out a lot of important stuff, but in the context that I feel like they're assuming you've watched the other stuff already, they just, like, didn't rehash anything, right? And they gave you a lot of new stuff to work with. However, not all of it was necessarily better than what they took out, for what it is, if you only watch the movies. I should probably point out that the animation's amazing in them. Like, they have a huge budget, because of course it does. So, like, they're worth just watching, even if you aren't entirely interested in it. I feel like it makes more sense, but it's less deep. Like, he doesn't do anything too crazy. The freaking instrumentality segment, and, like, it doesn't go too ballistic. But that was kind of the best part of the show, and also the most confusing part, but, like, come on. I feel like that was a very important thing that they shouldn't have changed quite so much. Another thing that didn't make sense to me is once they do the time skip, they are fighting like a lot more angels, and I guess they're artificial, but like canonically there's only supposed to be like 8 of them, and they just like fight them periodically. So then why are there like a bajillion little shit angels now? Are the main ones just special and these other ones have existed the whole time, or what?
So, yeah. Mixed opinions. I guess if I have to recommend something, I'm gonna say do the original series and the original movie. And if you enjoyed those, then watch them. But don't watch them on their own. Like, they're not good enough to be watched on their own, I feel. Obviously, you will get something out of it if you do that, and it'll probably make more sense to you. But if you want the whole experience, then do it in the order they came out. Is Big Man just gone? What's the deal? Oh, okay, he's here. Oh, okay, there's a second one, I think. Yeah, I'm not fighting them. Oh, hey, I knocked him into the water. I wonder if I can do that with the other guys. Nah, I won't risk it. I'm guessing this is some kind of push puzzle. Yeah, it's like the ice blocks. Guys, go watch my Alundra playthrough. It's a very good game. It also has some really fucking complicated ice puzzles. I hear one of the throwy boys. See, now I could spend all this on useful stuff, but I'm probably just gonna spend it on the purple armor, actually. I also know I have a lot of the orchard clumps. I can, like, cash those in on something. I don't know what. We can sure as hell cash it in on something. So what am I doing with this guy? Do I just... Like, this area is open, so it wants me to push him somewhere, but where does he want to go?
doesn't seem like he wants to float on the water, so I guess that's my border. But I'm still not entirely sure where it does want me to put him. Like, maybe over here so I can get on this roof.
It's another of the chosen.
How can you tell?
A void hangs around them. Can't you feel it? Unlike anything else, the absence of the Creator's hand.
Is this the Chosen? Or is this just a guy who is on the ceiling or whatever? Ah. Or beam boy. I don't get it. Where is he? It's not one of those guys down there. Oh, he's up here. Oh, not a chair boy. I'm bad at fighting these. Oh, wow. Okay, so that wasn't good. Because, yeah, it has a long wind-up. But it's too long of a wind-up. Like, it lets you get comfortable hitting him, and then he just does it when it's ready. There isn't any big anticipation beforehand. He just goes in for the blast. But that seems to be his only move. He did it twice in a row, right? So, like, there has to be... You have to go in and attack him while he's doing it, but, like, I guess you just have to learn the timing. Because I don't feel like you can dodge that reliably. Just based on his animations, I mean. Like, you weren't going for arcane counters with that. Trying to do the freaking pool, and then, you know. Damn, homie. And jitters. Oh, geez, I didn't even mention how jittery Onimusha is. whenever the characters are like holding weapons in cutscenes or whatever, they're just like jittering in their hands. Sometimes their whole face is jittery. I don't know why it is. Also, I have no idea what this bug is, but you're not supposed to be able to do anything when you're blocking, right? But if you have a turbo button and you're mashing X while you block, you will just start jittering the sword in your hands. Like, really fast, even more than the jitter I was talking about before. I guess that has something to do with the input delay. But, like, maybe it didn't exist in the original game, it did in the 60 FPS version or something. Because the older games, a lot of times the inputs and stuff are tied to the frame rate. Or no, that's just how it is, I lied. It's always tied to the frame rate, but I don't know. When they upgrade from 30 to 60, sometimes stuff breaks because of that. And I don't know why that would be. Okay, there's kind of a show, but if your camera's fucked up, then you're not gonna see it. Oh god, I didn't even talk about the camera, man. So, because the game's like Resident Evil, it's got the fixed camera angles, right? And like, with the tank controls, that kind of works. However, when you're doing like boss fights and stuff, you'll be in a small-ass room, and it'll give you like 3 different fucking camera angles. And they just switch at the worst times. It's so fucking annoying, man. Like, why can't they just give you a zoomed out shot of the room and keep it there? It'd be so much easier. And less fucking work for the developers. It's like they did it as difficulty intentionally. Which is bad. I don't like that at all. What do you mean he goes to normal attacks eventually? Beans, get in my lap already, you piece of shit. Come on. This Chosen guy really doesn't seem that bad anymore. Obviously, if you end up tanking a laser, that's like your whole fucking health bar, but I can kind of survive it if I'm at full health. So I just need to get a little better at dodging those, and it won't be so bad when he starts actually attacking again. Damn it. I wanted to get some health back off that guy. Ah! I need to watch for the tell more closely. I was like panic jumping because of the run up, I didn't know what the timing would be, but all that did was end up getting me hit. Oh, you know what? So, we talked about Death's Gambit before. I haven't played the new update yet, but they updated the game after how many years? And it's like a complete revamp of the game. It's called Afterlife now. They basically doubled the size of the game. Like, they added a ton of new areas, added more shortcuts, interconnectivity, more weapons, more bosses, of course. And a lot of people were, like, shitting on the game, saying that it wasn't a Metroidvania because you weren't getting movement abilities or whatever. Which, guys, watch my video essay. It was an Evangelion, alright? It was very much just like a Souls-like thing, where movement abilities weren't necessarily the focus. But it had, like, the correct map layout and stuff. But, yeah, they actually added in movement ability upgrades that you get throughout the game. So, like, I guess the progression's gonna feel more satisfying. And, what? I guess the story's probably more put together, too, because it did feel kind of unfinished originally. So I'd like to think that the version that's out now is their original vision, and they just, like, got the funding to do it eventually. And, you know, they made some tweaks to the combat, too, which it's gonna be the biggest thing for me, because I really didn't like the way dodging felt in that game. And, like, blocking wasn't an option, I don't think. It's not like I didn't like the way dodging felt, it's that enemies could just turn around instantly because it's 2D. There's like one frame, no turn animation. So when you dodge behind an enemy, it's just like kind of pointless because he just freaking turns around instantly and hits you with the next attack anyways. Which is why it's super reliant on iframes. But like, why dodge if that's how you're gonna do it? Like, don't add movement to the dodge or something, I don't know. Just make it a parry system. So yeah, I'm excited to revisit that, and that came out like a month or so ago. I just thought that I'd give it a shout out. I don't know why that hit my mind just now, but it did. Maybe because I shouted out 3 games today. What the fuck, man? Ah!
You will fall.
Ah! Oh, shit. You notice that I start switching to the whip at the end of that? It's because the attacks are less committal than with the claws. Not that the animations on the claws aren't short, but because they're so short, you kind of encourages you to start spamming. And, like, yeah, you can dodge cancel some actions, but you can't dodge cancel an entire attack. Remember last time we talked about the 3 parts of an attack? You can cancel the delay and the anticipation, but you cannot cancel the movement. As in, once you were in the part where the attack is doing damage, you were stuck in the attack until it's finished. So with the fast attacks, it gets to that movement stage very quick. It's kind of difficult to cancel yourself out of it. Anyways, my mistake last time was, of course, that I didn't start using the whip towards the end of that. Like, I did in the middle, and then I went back to the claws for some reason. Go under this. I can't. Bitch. is. Beans, get your ass out of my face, man. Damn it! So why do you gotta move at the most inopportune moments, man? I never should have let him think it was okay to sit on my desk. You can't unlearn it. But I didn't have a desk when we got him. I had a shelf that he hung out on. So I didn't put anything else on that shelf, and it just got covered in his gross hair and blood and stuff. Because that's what happens when cats have a spot. Because they're gross and they don't let him take showers with them. You're supposed to bathe him in the sink, but like, he has claws. He doesn't like it. The big one, though, his claws are dull, so I actually shower with him. He doesn't like it either, but like, he's gotten used to it, kind of. So he's actually clean. Doesn't get blood on everything, but Beans, he's fucking gross. He's a dirtbag. Obviously they clean themselves, but they use their fucking tongue, alright? It's not as effective as water. Anyways, I migrated rooms eventually, so he upgraded from shelf to my lap. And eventually he decided that the desk was a better spot for him. And I was, I was grateful at the time, because having a heavy-ass cat in your lap, it makes your legs fall asleep, probably increases the risk of blood clots, which is already, a genuine concern for someone who sits around as much as I do. And it also just makes it really inconvenient for when you have to pee and you don't want to wake them up. But now I just don't want him on my desk either. I'd rather he go back to being in my lap. Because when he's on my desk, he hits my fucking keys, he knocks over my microphone, he chews on my water bottle, sniffs up my food plates, fucking puts his ass in my face, and he gets hair on everything. Come on! You can just get off my desk, man. I said, I'm so sick of making this walk, man. I think I unlock a shortcut if I attack the tentacle, but I also think I get pulled into the next area, so I don't want to do that. Maybe I should just run past everything. Right now I'm fighting some of the stuff so I don't get hit, but I just end up getting hit because I fought stuff. Ah. Struggles of being bad. I wonder how they do that. It looks like they apply some kind of blur shader to the character when she does a flip. Like, it's not a post-processing effect, I don't think. But I don't know what it is. It's cool, though. It's like a very hand-drawn effect, you know? Normally, blurs and, like... You know how when you're running fast in Symphony of Night and, like, you have little doppelgangers that trail behind you? Like, that doesn't happen in 3D either. So, like, it's really cool when I see effects like that that are replicated somehow. You know, those dodges feel a little too perfect to not be perfect, you know what I'm saying? Damage boost. Alright, well, that was just a lot of luck, but I'll take it. Grand Mortar Crystalline. So, we can upgrade one of our things now. It's pretty sick. And we got a bunch of souls to spend. Probably just gonna buy one of the armors with it. Even though I don't technically need it, like, to prove that the fire is the best thing, but I want to use the purple. Of course. I just need to upgrade it a bit so it doesn't suck. So right now it does less damage to my whip, but it does dangerously close damage to the whip is the thing. Like, you can tell that it's a fucking heavy-hitting weapon. I just needed to upgrade a bit more.
Good riddance, monster. Talisman! It fled into that underwater cave. We must follow.
Must we?
Yes. Now.
Alright. What's this? That's where we just were. This guy's just gonna follow me around now. It fucking blows. It's your boy Volgrim, though.
What would you ask of this humble merchant?
Show me your genitals. Why is it more expensive if it's not better than the other ones? You know what I'm saying? Like, the stats are the same, it's just 4/4. So why is it so much more expensive, man?
As you wish.
Oh well. Now I've got cluster trucks. These ones, yeah.
Greetings. Take your time.
Buy this. Which I might actually use, I just don't know what on. Buy this just to have it, but I don't plan to use it. This health regen's a scam. Wow, we actually got a lot of souls out of that. I probably should have been spending those. I know I was spending them like crazy at first, so I was like, I'm gonna save these and I'm gonna buy stuff with them, and then I just forgot to ever use them. Should I buy like all these? I think so.
Excellent job. An excellent job. A wise decision. A wise decision. Ah, I knew you couldn't resist. A wise decision. I knew you couldn't resist.
Okay, I bought 13 of those.
As you wish.
And the rest of these are gonna be mine.
For both of us.
Level up, baby, baby, baby. Just think about all the time we could save if I did this before we fought Lost, baby, baby, baby. Oh, look at how many beans. I think I'm level 69 on my other endgame profile.
As you wish. Farewell.
Okay, 10 points. Woo! Spend like a lot of them on health. And more arcane. Something like that. Looking good.
For now. Greetings. Please.
And now you're gonna take me back to the Maker's Forge, and I'm gonna upgrade some weapons, and I'm gonna max out one of my thingies. It's gonna be free beer, which is sick. Come on, Wolthane.
Well Let's be aiming to lay
Well, net fury.
hard talent. Didn't think it was possible, but now you're even deadlier. Oh, what beautiful havoc you'll wreak with. Didn't think it was possible. What beautiful havoc you'll wreak with that. What beautiful, didn't think it was possible. What beautiful havoc you'll wreak with that.
So do I upgrade the barbs to the mallet? Probably the barbs, right? But I want to like the mallet. Probably the barbs.
Interesting. All right. Let's see what I can do for you. Some of my best work.
Alright, so this one, if we want to make progress in the arena, we need the chance to spawn a health archer, which is on the angelic path. So that's what we're gonna use, I guess. I upgrade this one. I want to get the one that gives me defense for wrath attacks, right? Even though those aren't necessarily something I have to worry too much about. Gain damage, hurricane damage. Yeah, this is good. This one's good too, though.
Some of my best. What do you think it was possible? But now, you're even deadlier. What do you think it was possible? But now, you're even...
It might seem like I'm spending these recklessly, but since I can buy them in the Crucible, I feel more liberal about it.
Interesting. Take care.
Now, what did I actually have that one equipped in? Full damage, the shade. I'm having salvation. Damn it. Right, I'll swap these out, I guess. Right? Maybe. It's the passive damage reduction that I want to have on me at all times, right? And then, since I sometimes use the salvation just to apply a dot effect with the fire, that could be a good thing, right?
And, watch your back.
Right, we gotta equip our new thingy. Just yellow. This one's gonna be just purple.
It warmed me to see you again.
I like the way the red one looked better. Orange one. It's fine, though, I guess.
What would you ask of this humble?
Serpent Bowl.
Please take your time.
What's over here? Hello? Oh, not this guy. I don't like this guy. Stop. See, so I like the mallet as a power attack because it has less commitment than the other two. Like, it's still just a swing. You put a little more delay on it, but you get more damage out of it. Whereas the other ones, you have to do like a whole jumping move, or like you go in for like 4 stabs. And it leaves you open to damage. This is just like what I feel like a Y button would be in any other game. Come on. How long did I spend trying to kill that freaking Chosen? Too long, that's the answer. I wonder how much of that was just walking. You see how I just placed all those guys up there? I'm low-key glad my heal didn't go off, because apparently I had the large crystal selected. I don't want to waste those.
I know I don't actually have to fight this guy. I just want to mentally reconfirm that they don't actually drop anything good. If anything at all. So I don't feel bad about running past the other ones. And of course, he dropped nothing. Not even a lot of souls or anything, it's just like shit. Ah, boy. Love wasting time. Alright, we're back at the first area. I wonder if I get back there through this one over here. Fuck you. Yeah, block that, bitch. That's another reason I like the hammer. It feeds my impatience. Kind of ironic considering the boss he had to fight to get it. Right, I remember this. You can sink down here, there's a thing. I can't actually get that treasure until I have the ice. And we're back at the chapel. I did not lead me where I wanted it to, though. Purple glow. I need to get into that factory somehow. It's a warehouse. Possibly a factory. The entrance is not on this side. You get there from a hole in the ground. Might be stuff up there.
though. It doesn't look like I can get up there. It's possible I come back out from down here. But how likely is it? Also, I can finally check out that space over here. It might be related. Like where we got pulled into the boss fight before, and then we just blocked off afterwards. Come on. Don't like that guy. Oh, it's closed. I feel like I knew that. There's the shortcut I was looking for. I knew I switched to the fire for a reason. And I even knew the reason.
What would you... This. As you wish. Do make sure they scream, Horseman.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that the hole to the backspace is somewhere down here. And I'm gonna enter the next area, but like at the next Vulgrim point, we're gonna be done, because I'm tired of not being able to breathe. We're also at that time. Made progress though. We killed a mini boss and a main boss. Not a lot of progress because it was all in one small area, but you know, it happened. I feel alright about this.
that where I was supposed to go? Looks like it. They put that down there so that I would know to switch out so I can swim again. Whew.
It appears the ship has escaped. Perhaps we should.
It can't have gone far. I will find it.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Alright, well, we good, guys. I feel like I'm supposed to apologize for not making a ton of progress. But again, we did kill a sub-boss and a boss, so that is technically progress, even if we didn't move or explore very much. Yeah, next time, we're gonna do all this water stuff, and we're gonna get our ice sword. And then we'll be able to go take a victory lap and explore everything. And, you know, we'll probably do the Force Corridor, too. So I don't know if the victory lap will happen in that session or not, but we'll see. And that's all, folks. See ya in a week.